Welcome to this edition of the Sunday News Podcast, a podcast where we discuss issues affecting people economically, socially, and even mentally. Today we have Mr. Tawani Moyo, a teacher by profession, and Mrs. Joanne Lovo, a midwife. Today we're going to discuss the Education Amendment Act of 2020. Mr. Moyo, can you please assist us by unpacking the Education Amendment Act of 2020? What does it talk about, particularly mentioning issues to do with pregnant girls?
Okay, thank you, Robin. The Education Act of Amendment Act of 2020 speaks about pregnant girls, and it has brought some changes. It now hinders people or stops institutions from sending girls who have fallen pregnant away from school. Those girls are supposed to attend lessons just like any other learner. When the time comes for them to give birth, 2 weeks before, they are supposed to also go on maternity leave for 2 weeks. Then after birth, 2 weeks after, if they are healthy, then can come back to school and continue their lessons. So it stops institutions from sending away pregnant girls like what used to happen in the past.
Okay, and what were the challenges that were coming out because of this, sending the girls home?
Okay, I think in the past when institutions sent girls home, they in a sort denied them to continue with education. So you will note that the new thrust in the new curriculum is that we must retain our learners in schools. No matter what happens, we must always try to get them back into school. So I think this act is in line with that thrust of retaining girls and all learners at school.
Okay, and what is the effect of this maybe on other learners in the class? How are they supposed to relate with each other now?
Okay, I think there is going to be a challenge, but if everything is well taken care of, the other learners have to be educated that there is nothing abnormal with someone falling pregnant. It's natural for someone to fall pregnant. But not all learners are going to accept that they are learning with someone who is pregnant. There are so many stories that have been told by learners that if someone is pregnant in class, they cause them to sleep, things like that. So there is stigma associated with pregnant learners that we have seen in the past. So it's going to be maybe a task that the ministry comes with a program that also sensitizes other learners to be friendly to those who are pregnant, because obviously they are going to be named and labeled. It's natural. Human beings are like that.
Okay. Turning to you, Mrs. Ndlovu, can a child fully participate in class when they are pregnant and when they are still very, very young? Like now we've got children in grade 7 falling pregnant. What is the effect on the learning process?
All right, thank you for giving me the floor. Well, a child can concentrate, yes. Well, but it always depends on the atmosphere that they're in. If they're in a supportive atmosphere, like what Mr. Moy was saying, that the other kids shouldn't judge this child, they should accept that child. I think that would actually make them concentrate better and excel in their studies.
Okay.
Yes.
And what are the challenges that come with early unintended pregnancies? Like we understand pregnant women can become moody. What are some of the things that these children will go through while they're in class?
All right, well, yeah, pregnancy comes with a lot of complications. And well, if someone is pregnant, one thing you should know, that person is not sick. That person is very well, they are functional and everything. But there are complications that come with pregnancy, like you'd say, there are those mood swings, there's so much progesterone in your body, and it will make you want to sleep and just rest and just lazy. And So yes, it can affect that child. That maybe they won't be um, they won't be concentrating much. Maybe they'll be feeling lazy, and yes, it can affect them that way. And also, as the tummy grows bigger, that discomfort and that weight that it has on them, they can get discomfort from that.
Okay, and our schools are just ordinary schools where they were built for learners who are not pregnant to come and access the school. At the moment, what are the problems that children may face in accessing the school and they are heavily pregnant? Like we've got 4-story buildings, things like that.
Okay. Yes, especially for these local schools, maybe town schools, where you have those story buildings, where you have the small chairs and the small desks. As the tummy gets bigger, that discomfort as they sit, and the longer sitting hours, maybe they've got a double period, sometimes it can go for an hour, and they'll be sitting for a whole hour, which gets really uncomfortable. And also with the stories, they have to go certain floors to access a class, right? And then we also have those children in the outskirts where they have to walk kilometers and kilometers to actually get to school. That would actually also be a hindrance or a challenge to that child, such that uyakwazi ukufika maybe sediniwe and all. So that could be a challenge.
And at say grade 7, is a girl, a 10-year-old, 11-year-old girl, fully developed to carry a child?
Fully developed. Well, physically, they won't be fully developed. Pregnancy comes with a lot of changes in the body, and that weight that I had mentioned earlier, the fact that the pelvis is not yet fully matured, the child is not yet fully matured. Of course, they may be going on their menses, but that doesn't mark optimum maturity for childbearing, right? So the body is still growing, the body is still maturing, so they won't be in that state of carrying a child to term. You get some miscarriages, but some, of course, they carry to term, but you can get some miscarriages because the body is not yet fully developed to actually carry pregnancy through.
Okay. Okay. Very interesting insights from Mr. Moyo and Mrs. Ndlovu. We'll now take a short break and we'll be back in a few moments. Welcome back to the Sunday News Podcast, where today we're discussing the Education Amendment Act, which is allowing learners to come back to school even if they've fallen pregnant. And we are with Mr. Moyo here, a teacher by profession. Mr. Moyo, can you please tell us, are teachers equipped to deal with pregnant learners? What measures have been put to maybe educate them to deal with these pregnant learners?
Okay, I think I'll be very honest with you. Currently, when this legislation this Amendment Act was passed and it became law, most teachers they were talking about serious issues, but they were making them jokes, like saying that during their training now, teachers will need to maybe have a course in midwifery, which some laughed about it, but it also highlights that teachers are not equipped to deal with pregnant learners. I don't remember during my years as a teacher attending a workshop where we were talking about pregnant learners. It's something new. So it's now the challenge to the Minister of Education to maybe come up with workshops that are going to equip teachers to be able to deal with these learners.
Okay, and the schools themselves, are they equipped? Do you have nurses on site? Will they be maybe ambulances? Because pregnancy, one can give birth at any time. It's not standard that at 9 months somebody can give birth. What measures have been put?
Okay, it brings with it a lot of challenges when it comes to the administration part of or taking care of these learners, because it's something new that has just come up. And I think maybe basically people are thinking that someone who is pregnant, they are not sick and they don't have complications, but it varies from one individual to the other. And you can imagine a situation where you have a learner and the pregnancy is complicated every time, and then they're giving you problems. So I think school administrations will have to maybe talk to the ministry or talk to their superiors to try and have an arrangement that even in school we have facilities that can take care of these girls, because currently there is none. What we just have are sick days where learners who are not feeling well can go and wait as their parents are coming to pick them up to take them to hospitals, or for those who are seriously normal, ambulances are called to come and pick them up.
Okay. And what message do you have maybe for other learners to say, yes, we've got pupils who may be pregnant? Is it a passport for them to do the same, or you've got now targeted guidance and counseling courses that will educate them on the importance of concentrating on their schoolwork?
Okay, that is a very interesting question. From my observation, what I have noted, when a girl is pregnant and is visible, you'll find all these other girls swarming to them. And she becomes more like a mini celebrity. A few friends will be, coming close, asking a lot of questions, asking how does it feel, And then even when they have given birth and there's a new baby, you'll find that these girls will run and they tend to like babies. I don't know why. So there's a danger there of them being attracted to that and also wanting to have their own pregnancies and babies. But I think it now becomes that's where we need all the hands on the deck, the parents, the community, and the teachers, to educate these girls that this legislation has been passed because it has been realized that those girls who fell pregnant in the past, unfortunately, and were expelled from school, their life became miserable after that. It is made for those who accidentally get pregnant. It's not a pass to say you can now indulge in sex willy-nilly without limits. And also I think schools will have to come up with strong guidance and counseling departments.
Okay.
They will have to do their job so that they conscientize these girls about the whole issue of someone who has become pregnant and they are allowed to be at school. Let me say the disadvantages to fall pregnant at school, they have to be highlighted so that we discourage girls from just falling pregnant knowing that they are not going to be expelled from school.
From school. Okay. And Mrs. Ndo, for preparation to give birth, what can these young learners expect? And also maybe when it's time for breastfeeding, how can they deal with that?
Okay, for the preparation of birth, it starts from actually registering the pregnancy. Is this pregnancy registered? Is this child tested for HIV? Because all those things, they come hand in glove with pregnancy or with sexual intercourse. Are you registered at a local clinic or hospital for your delivery plan? Have you been tested for HIV and other STIs? Are you going for your normal antenatal checkups? Are you getting the ferrous sulfate that you're supposed to get when you're pregnant to replace to raise your hemoglobin levels? Are you getting all that? Are you getting all those services? Are you getting the support? That's all birth preparedness, right? Yes. So are you getting the support even from your school? Like he had said, that they actually need input to be given to the teachers so that they can actually be able to handle these children. Are you being psychosocial support is paramount when these kids are pregnant. That's all birth preparedness, right? And has this person or this pregnant girl, has she prepared the layette, the preparation, the clothes, everything? That is all birth preparedness. Now, if we're saying that they are going to school up to 2 weeks before giving birth, are we saying now that they are carrying their clothes, the baby clothes to school? Because labor can happen anytime.
Okay.
Of course, you don't get into labor and deliver right? But one can get into labor anytime. Are they prepared? Have they been prepared psychologically, counseled for all that, right? And then as for the breastfeeding part, we encourage breastfeeding to be initiated within the first 30 minutes of delivery, and every time rising need after that. So if this child is going back to school after 2 weeks, how is the baby getting the breast milk? Have they been given input on the expressing part? How is that milk handled? Who is the caregiver of this child at home? All those questions have to come into play and have to be attended to, so that at least the breastfeeding can go on even if the mom is at school, right?
Yes.
We encourage people to express their milk, to practice exclusive breastfeeding, especially for the first 6 months. And by exclusive, we mean just breastfeeding only. No meals, no water, nothing. Breast milk has got all the required nutrients for the baby, right? So we encourage them to express their breast milk, to store the breast milk properly in clean cups, and cup feed the baby. So all those things, they have to come into play.
Okay. And your parting shot, what is your message to our young learners in regards to early unintended pregnancies?
Alright, early unintended pregnancies, they could be a setback, Well, in the long run, fine, you've got your baby and all, some cases are like, I'm floppy, some but think of your tomorrow. There are programs here in Zimbabwe that are being run to curb such unintended pregnancies. And by programs, we mean there are condom distributions that are going on in Zimbabwe, and the family planning that is being catered for all women for all girls, women of childbearing age, right? So if you know that you are sexually active, you have to access these services. Of course, I'm not encouraging you to be sexually active at such a young age. You should, I would not say, yes, stop, but you know the message. You know the message, but there are, of course, some services that you can access, right? And at the same time, when someone gets pregnant, teenage pregnancy, we shouldn't discriminate them. We should at least support them. Even as peers at school, you should support your other your friend, and yeah, that will help them at least get through the pregnancy.
Okay, thank you very much. And Mr. Moyo, your parting shot.
Maybe what I would say to the girls who are still at school is that maybe they should focus on their education first, from the education point of view. Focus on your education first. This pregnancy will come with a lot of challenges and responsibilities like here ahead. And they might be accepted. Remember the time that you are going to lose, those when you are going for your maternity leave, the time that you are going to lose, maybe when you are losing concentration in class, that will be a time lost, and it's going to affect your work at school. So for now, let us focus on getting our education.
And your message to the boy child.
Okay, to the boys, and even to let me first say to the boys, they should be responsible. They should not take advantage of these girls, and also not only boys, but there are men out there who are taking advantage of these girls, maybe luring, using money and other items. Can we please leave these girls to go to school, like what Zuma said at some point, asegele nabantwana besikolo singazisaba phambanisa. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Moyo and Mrs. Ndlovu, for joining us today on our podcast. We hope to join you again soon, where we debate more interesting issues that affect us in all aspects of our lives. Thank you very much.